Hey guys, today I'm going to be making a major modification to my twin motor long jump Arrma Typhon. So if you're unfamiliar with this project, then if you have a look in the description, I'll leave a link to the playlist. But basically, this is a car that I've built dedicated to do long jumps. It's now the official record-holding long jump car at Paddlesworth, and we're also trying to get this car to do over 100 miles an hour on grass. As you can see, we've made a good few modifications to make this car suited for its goals. So first, we've stretched it with an M2C Arrma Mojave chassis. This makes the car longer and it makes it more stable, and we can also fit more on the chassis. As you can see, we've made big power modifications. We've got two Hobbywing 2200 kV motors and two Hobbywing Max 6 CSE. So we're running this thing on 12S. So we've got the perfect recipe for a good speed run car and an amazing jumper. We've got a long wheelbase, lightweight, super powerful buggy, but we are having one problem at the moment, and that is trying to get the power down. So the car has a theoretical speed of over 100 miles an hour on grass as well, and as I've said before, we've made it longer to try and make it more stable, but during a recent speed run attempt, we got to half throttle, the car did a standing backflip. We got to about half throttle and the car flipped over. And when it did a standing backflip, that's when it occurred to me that the car's too short. Naturally, a car with an enormous amount of power is going to want to lift, but if we can get to only half throttle with such little effort and the car do a standing backflip, then it's definitely too short. So, I've got a solution. So we've already got the longest compatible chassis that will fit with the Typhon, the Mojave one here, but it is too short. So, have a look at this. What do you think of that, guys? So what you're looking at here, guys, is the front and rear ends of a 6S Arrma Typhon on a losi dbxl E chassis, a 1/5 scale desert racer. And as you can see, it makes it a lot longer. We can get the entire Mojave chassis in the middle of this chassis here. If we compare the lengths between the old chassis and the new chassis, if we line them up at the back here, we've got an entire wheel length extra. I think there's an extra 15 centimeters in wheelbase. That's going to make the car so much more stable. As you can also see, it's a lot wider here as well, being a 1/5 scale chassis, so we've got more space to try and get everything pushed closer to the front there. So what that means is that it's going to be a lot less likely for the front end to want to lift. So before we start building, let me just quickly tell you a little about this new chassis. So as I said before, it comes off a losi dbxl 1/5 scale electric desert racer truck. Luckily, it is also made out of 7075 like the old chassis we were using, so hopefully we should still have that same durability as the old one. It is a bit longer, so we may lose a bit of durability there. It may be more prone to bending. We might have to come up with some bracing, but as we do testing, we'll be able to figure out. So now, let's get this car stripped down. So quite obviously, this isn't going to be a direct fit, so I've already gone ahead and drilled out all the holes for the front and rear end to fit nicely on this new chassis, and luckily it has all pretty much lined up perfectly. I couldn't get these two holes here to line up, so hopefully it should still be durable enough. It feels all nice and secure. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is taking everything off the old chassis and getting it onto the new one. We'll probably have to do quite a bit of rearranging so we can get everything bunched up closer, and we've also got a few more holes to drill as well. We've got to get the servo in place and the motor mounts in place as well, so definitely a busy video. So without further ado, let's begin. As you can see here, guys, this motor's kind of on its way out, so luckily I've got a spare one here. There we go, guys. That is everything off the old chassis. Right, so here we go, guys. This is what I'm thinking. As you can see here, we've tried to get everything as close to the front as possible. As you can also see, we have got quite a bit more space between the motors than we did before. And in a way, this is a good thing, because in that way, the motors won't collide. But it is then forcing some of the weight towards the back of the car. But still, then again, this just being a little bit further forwards isn't going to make too much difference, because this is as far forwards as we can get the ESC. And then we've got all of this extra space here at the back here. So I'm pretty sure that should do a good job of trying to keep the nose down. So first what I'll do is get the servo in place, then we'll get the motor mounts in place, and then after that we can think about the battery trays, the receiver box and the ESCs. So far, guys, looking really good. We've got both the servo and the front motor mounting. It's all lined up really nicely. We've got plenty of play in this front drive shaft, and we've got plenty of clearance of the servo as well. So here we go, guys, that's both the motors in place. So next, let's get this receiver box stuck in, and then we'll get the battery trays in, and then the ESCs. So here we go, guys, that's the first side done. As you can see, we've got the battery tray screwed in. It's a lot more secure than it was before. And we've got the ESC all mounted up. As you can see, I decided to go back to using the Velcro instead of using mastic. It's lovely and secure in here. I never had a problem with the Velcro. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to do the other side of the car. As you can also see, I've had to rearrange a few things here. So I've had to move the receiver box a bit backwards and change the rotation of the motor so that all the wires will reach into the ESC. So everything so far is going pretty smoothly. So we'll get this other side done here. And then after that, we can wire everything up. So here we go, guys, that's everything on the new chassis. Both sides are now done. Everything is off the old chassis and onto the new one. So next, let's have a look at all the wiring. So guys, I've just gone ahead and put on the old buggy wheels and the Typhon body, and just look at the sheer size of this thing, guys. Once we've got the wheels and body on there, you can really see how just absolutely enormous this thing is. Just for reference, guys, here is a standard 1/8 scale buggy, a car showing phono MP10, and just look how much longer the Typhon is. It's just absolutely crazy. As a final size comparison, guys, look, it's almost as big as a full-length 1/5 scale car. Look at that. Guys, if for some reason this thing still wants to lift, I'm not sure what else we're going to be able to do, because the difference in size is just enormous. This car is going to be so much more stable than before. It's going to be unbelievable. It's just going to be so planted to the ground. So next, what we're going to do is get everything all wired up nicely. So there we go, guys. That's all the wiring done on the car. It looks super clean now. So next, what we're going to do is sort out the body. So temporarily, we're still going to use the Typhon body for a bit. But as you have seen, it is too short. It only comes to about here or so. So to get a proper body in place, I'm still undecided yet. I'm thinking of going for a limitless one. That's going to come all the way back here somewhere. So it'll be much more suitable. And I've actually decided, as for mounting it, I'm actually going to go back to using the Velcroing system. Because as we've got no tail-to-tail brace, I can't do like a strap around it or a cable tie. So what we're going to do for a little bit is go back to the Velcroing on the side here. If it lasts and if it's reliable, then great. But if not, then we'll have to come up with something in the meantime. But for the time being, we're going to go with the Velcro. So guys, the ultra long wheelbase conversion on this car is finally finished, and I think I can say with great confidence that this is the world's longest Arrma Typhon. Guys, we're going to be going in for the first run. It's a bit wet out here, as you can see. We're just going to go for an initial test to see what it's like, if it's going to lift, and then in the next video we'll get the proper Mojave tyres on and go for that 100-mile-an-hour record.
No, 101-mile-an-hour record.
Oh yeah, 101
well,
mile-an-hour.
He wants to beat that record. Yeah. We need to see that happen.
So we've got to get 102 miles an hour then to do the record. Brakes are good. Oh man,
Oh, is that why you didn't want to run it?
Oh, I knew it. Oh.
Could be worse, could be mine.
So back now, guys, and as you saw, just a brief test to get an idea of how the car was running and if it was going to lift. I didn't push the car too much, didn't even bother putting a GPS in there, so got to around half throttle, a little bit past there, and as you saw, there was no sign of lifting whatsoever, so a major success, just what I wanted to happen. So in the next video, like I said, we're going to get the proper Mojave tyres on there and have a crack at that off-road speed run record. We've got to get 102 miles an hour to get the record, and I definitely think the car's got it in it. It was so planted to the ground and it was running arrow straight, and it's got an enormous amount of power. So in the next video, we're going to be finding out. So if you want to watch that, make sure that you subscribed and that you press the notification bell. But for now, that tops it off for this video. I really do hope you did enjoy it. Make sure if you did that you leave a like and subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to do that. And make sure to press that notification bell so you don't miss any other cool action. So that's it from me. I hope you have a brilliant day or weekend, and I hope to see you next time in the next video. Bye.